All right, this is chapter 6 notes. And in the first, last chapter, fifth, we talked about the igneous rocks and how igneous rocks are formed. Here we're talking sedimentary and metamorphic, and we're going to take a look at these two right now. Now, sedimentary rocks, formation of sedimentary rocks, weathering, erosion, and deposition. Erosion involves the weathering and removal of rock, the wind, um, anything that has to do with the wind or the weather, wind, snow, ice, rain, flooding. All of this is erosional. Okay. And then deposition occurs when an agent of erosion, water, wind, ice, or gravity, loses energy and drops the sediment. This is um, deposition. So erosion causes sediment, and it's constantly going on all around you. Rock is being broken down. When you dust in your house, those are fragments of erosional rock in your house. It's floating around that you clean up. So erosion is happening all the time. And when the wind, for example, picks up rock debris, erosion picks up some rock debris, when the wind dies down, it will deposit this. That's called deposition. After we have deposition, we get compaction and cementation. Compaction is a process that squeezes or compacts sediments. Cementation takes place when dissolved minerals are deposited in tiny spaces among the sediments. Now, I always use this as an example here. Think about a snowball. Compaction and cementation. When you pick up the loose snow and you go to make a snowball, you got to crunch all that empty space out of there. You can hear it crunch out, and the particles of snow get closer together. They squeeze together. This is compaction and cementation when we're talking about um, these bits and fragments of rock that have been eroded. They get squeezed and they get cemented together. All right. There are two classifications. Classifications of sedimentary rocks, and there are two main groups. Clastic sedimentary rocks are composed of weathered bits of rocks and minerals. They're classified, this is huge because this is part of the homework. They are classified by particle size. These common sedimentary rocks include shale, sandstone, and a conglomerate. All right. Shale is from clay-sized particles. Sandstone is from sand-sized particles, and conglomerate is a mixture of different types of particles. Here's shale with some plant fossils in it. You can see the ferns that have imprinted themselves on this piece of shale. Here's a conglomerate, a little bit of everything. You can see bigger chunks. You can see fine-grained sands. And when we have a material of this type or a rock of this type, it's called a conglomerate. Two main groups: chemical sedimentary rocks. They form when dissolved substances precipitate or separate from water. Common rocks include limestone. This is the most abundant chemical rock. Microcrystalline quartz, known as chert, flint, jasper, or agate, and evaporites such as rock salt or gypsum or coal. One example is fossiliferous limestone. This is a piece of limestone that are made out of bits of shells and that of old sea creatures. Therefore, the fossils, fossiliferous limestone. Here's our classification of sedimentary rocks. Here's my clastic sedimentary rocks and my chemical sedimentary rocks. Clastic, remember, they are classified by the size of the grains. All right, size of grains. Where chemical sedimentary rocks, we have composition and texture. Okay. Features of some sedimentary rocks. Features of sedimentary rocks are clues to how and where the rocks are formed. Um, Limestone, formed in the ocean or around the seashore. Um, and there's others. I wish I could show you some of the rocks I have in class. I could show you so much better. But different types of rocks, sedimentary rocks, we know how they were formed and where they were formed. All right. Let me go back to here for a second. Coal. We know coal was formed in a rainforest type of environment. Um, Seashells, or like my fossiliferous limestone, there had to be around water or an ocean because it has shells and whatnot in it. There's different types of um, sea life in different types of stone. There's coquina, there is breccia. There's several different types. Um, Metamorphic rock. Formation of metamorphic rock. Metamorphism means to change. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. My grandson watches that. Metamorphism means to change form. Most metamorphic changes occur at elevated temperatures and pressure. Conditions for formations are found a few kilometers below the Earth's surface and extend to the upper mantle. Uh, there's different types of formation. There's contact metamorphism. This occurs when magma moves into a rock. It occurs near a body of magma, and changes are driven by a rise in temperature. And then we have regional metamorphism. This results in large scale deformation and high grade metamorphism. Direct pressure and high temperatures occur during mountain building, for example. This would be regional metamorphism. And this produces the greatest volume of metamorphic rock. Agents of metamorphism, heat. This provides the energy needed to drive chemical reactions. Heat from magma. And pressure. This causes more compact rock with greater density. Pressure is just a more compact rock with higher density, just like making a snowball. You're pushing out those empty spaces and packing it down. The heat of your hands helps to form that snowball, and the pressure you apply packs it down and makes it more dense. Um, Pressure and metamorphism, confining pressure, these layers upon layer drives the pressure and pushes that space out from in between the rock particles. And then over here, this deformed strata or this metamorphed strata, the metamorphed rock, is from the pressure of these two plates pushing against each other, driving these rocks up, causing them to bend and twist and deform. It's deformed strata. It is metamorphism. Other agents, hydrothermal solutions. This is hot water-based solutions escaping from a mass of magma. Old Faithful, Yellowstone Park, that all those hot springs. This is hydrothermal solutions, and we just read about people cooking their food in this stuff. Okay, it's hot. Promote recrystallization by dissolving original minerals and then depositing new ones. This is hydrothermal solutions. We have classifications of metamorphic rocks. The two main categories are foliated. It has banded or layered appearance. Foliated metamorphic rock has a banded or layered appearance. Non-foliated metamorphic rock does not have this banded texture. All right. And I think, yep, right here. Here's gneiss. It is a typical banded. You can see the bands in here of color. Banded appearance. And then here is marble, non-foliated. You don't see those bands in the marble. Classification of metamorphic rocks. Again, here we're going to go by foliated and non-foliated. And then grain size. What size are the grains? If it's foliated and it's very fine, it must be a shale or mudstone. If it's foliated and just fine, slate, phyllite, schist, granite. You can see the different types of foliated rocks over here. And then the non-foliated limestones, crystal, um, limestone crystals, quartz, and coal. And again, here's banded and non-banded. That is, or banded, non-banded, foliated, non-foliated, or banded and non-banded. That's it for these notes. Hopefully they help with the homework and your understanding of this chapter.